The man is averaging over 30 points a game this year, pretty much, and he's one of the biggest international superstar that there is. So the Lakers won now and the long term. Yo, you here with your man Jonathan Wells. You're here at the Shadow League in the locker room. Listen, man, we had a crazy week in sports. We got a lot of topics that we got to get into today. We're going to touch a little bit on the Super Bowl, obviously. We're going to get into the NBA with the Luka Doncic AD trade. We're going to get into the halftime show, Kendrick Lamar over Lil Wayne. You know, I'm from New Orleans, so I feel a certain kind of way about this, you know, so we're going to get into that. But first, let me introduce my main man, Day Day. What's good, my boy? What's happening?
Hey man, Jonathan, it's a pleasure to be here with you, man. Like you said, man, the weekend everybody's kind of been waiting for us here, Super Bowl week, man. So excited to see how this game's gonna turn out, man. I ain't got no dog in the fight.
Yeah, me either. You know what I'm saying? Either way, I'm good with it. Either way, like you, bro. So yeah, let's get into it, man. What we gonna get into today?
Hey man, of course, like you said, we can go ahead and get into these quick hits because you kind of touched on everything that we
Mm.
talked about. So let's get started with NFL honors last night. Obviously, kicking off kind of the Super Bowl weekend. Josh Allen gets MVP. A lot of back and forth about whether or not Lamar Jackson got shunned or not. Break it down for me. What do you think? Did Josh Allen deserve it? Should it have gone Lamar's way?
Whew, man. I definitely got to say I would have probably gave that thing to Lamar Jackson, to be quite honest with you. I think his stats, the regular season that he put up, everything that you want from the QB position, Lamar Jackson delivered that. Obviously, once again, he got into the playoffs, couldn't get it done. I'm not sure if they voted before that or after that playoff game because that probably had something to do with it. And in the same way, Josh Allen still couldn't get past Patrick Mahomes either. So I think both of them had a great year. I'm not exactly sure how the voting goes, but I would have gave that thing to Lamar on my end.
All right, and sticking with NFL honors, Hall of Fame. Only four entries get in, led by Antonio Gates. I think the biggest surprise that a lot of
Mm.
people talked about was the fact that Eli Manning didn't get in. I I don't know. While he's gotten to the Super Bowl and won two Super Bowls, I know that plays a role in why he's on the ballot. But do you have a problem with him not getting in? And what do you think about the four gentlemen that did get in?
No, I don't have a problem with Eli Manning not getting in. I think eventually he'll probably get in. I think his last name, carries a lot of weight in this league. So I think eventually he'll definitely get into the Hall of Fame. I didn't think he was just like, oh my God, a first ballot Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? But I think he definitely put in a lot of work, had a lot of yards, won two Super Bowls. So eventually he'll get in that thing. But I wasn't mad that he wasn't in it.
All right, let's keep it on the gridiron. Move over though to the college ranks. Some news you probably like. Ryan Day gets the extension. I think it's 5 years, making him the second highest paid coach behind Kirby Smart. Man, well deserving.
Oh, absolutely, man. We have one of the young, bright futures of college football if he decides to stay in the college football, because he could definitely go to the NFL when he gets ready as well. He's one of the best offensive minds in college football. He's proved that since he's been at Ohio State. Our offense has consistently been in the top five in the country. We put up a bunch of points. We put out a bunch of first rounders. Ryan Day is giving everything that you want for a college program. If you want to go to the NFL, why wouldn't you want to play for Ryan Day? Defensively or offensively, we've been putting out enormous talent from Ohio State for years and years and years. So I think he's done a phenomenal job, and he's worth every penny.
All right, let's shift gears a little bit. A little hardwood action. Crazy week in the NBA before the trade deadline yesterday. Obviously, the biggest one was Luka Doncic out of nowhere, and we're going to touch a little bit more on it a little later if we have time. But Luka Doncic out of nowhere gets traded by the Mavs to the Lakers. Lakers sent AD to the Mavs. Everybody is saying, "Oh, I had no idea this was going down." How shocked were you when you started seeing it trending? Because like most people, everybody thought it was Shams. Everybody thought Shams got hacked, but how shocked were you? And what are your thoughts on the trade?
I was very shocked, just like everybody else. Me personally, I think both organizations won. I think the Mavs won for right now. I think that AD, for what they have, they can definitely make a deep playoff run in the Western Conference and potentially get back to a championship and win a finals. You know what I mean? So if they do that, then they'll feel like they won the trade. the Lakers definitely won the trade by getting a 25-year-old Luka Doncic. The man is averaging over 30 points a game this year, pretty much, and he's one of the biggest international superstar that there is. So the Lakers won now and the long term, because what people didn't expect was for him and LeBron to be able to play together. So if the Lakers can continue to play how they're playing, continue winning games, when he comes and joins the mix and they make a late playoff run, then the Lakers win now and the future. So I think both teams, I think it was a good trade.
Yeah, and to your point, at the Lakers, as far as them trying to win now, they did also go pick up the center, the young boy from Charlotte. So they obviously definitely look like they're in win now mode, but as well as the future. Another big trade. We talked about this one the last time, whether or not it was going to happen. It happened. Sounds like maybe Jimmy's not all right, but he's just gonna push through. But Jimmy Butler gets sent to the Warriors. Obviously, the Warriors actually had their eyes on KD, but KD said, "Nah, I'm good. I'm gonna
Mm.
stay in Phoenix." What are your thoughts on the Warriors landing Jimmy? Can Jimmy kind of, because I think right now they're sitting at like 10th in the Western Conference. Can Jimmy kind of propel them out of that play-in category into the maybe the top six and even further beyond?
At this point in his career, I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a great fit for the Warriors because they like tough, physically guys. Like, Draymond Green, he'll be a good fit with Draymond Green, probably. They both play the same style of basketball. I don't know about off the court, but they both definitely have an aggressive approach on the court. I think that'll help Golden State. Defensively, he's going to help Golden State. Is that going to get them over the hump? I'm not sure. It's yet to be determined, to be quite honest with you. But, hey, if that's where he felt like he wanted to go, hey, it's a good fit for him.
All right. And what do you think, just real quick, this kind of trend of guys that we're starting to see more and more in sports, especially in basketball. But we just saw with Miles Garrett, he wants out of Cleveland. But what do you think of this trend of guys just saying, "Look, this ain't it. I want out." Do you think this is going to kind of be more of a trend with guys?
I think so. I mean, I think at the end of the day, they can cut you anytime they get ready, right? So if you're in a situation that you feel is a no-win situation, whether that's you're not getting playing time or you're a superstar who's been there and giving you all for 8, 9 years in a row, no light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, I definitely should be able to, get my way out of here to go get me an opportunity to play at another organization. So I think it's great for the players to, to have that type of flexibility. We'll see where he ends up landing at, but I'm sure they'll work with him because he's been a great guy around there as far as I know.
All right. Where do you think? What would be? If you had to throw one out there, what do you see as a good fit for Miles?
Uh, Kansas City, the
Ooh,
Eagles.
ooh.
Kansas City could
Okay.
definitely use him out there. He'll be a monster out there for another couple of years
Yeah.
with Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a good look for him.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of which, Kansas City, the Eagles, big game goes down on Sunday. And I think the line now is Kansas City favored by one.
Hmm.
Your initial thoughts on this game and what is it going to take for either of these teams? And we can start with the Chiefs. What does it take for them to complete the three-peat and get this win over the Eagles?
I think they're going to have to play clean. They're going to have to definitely keep Patrick Mahomes protected. And I think that they're going to, like I say, have no turnovers, and they're going to have to create some turnovers on the other side for them to win this football game. Because, like I said, I think Saquon Barkley is going to be the difference in this football game. With him over there with the Eagles, Jalen Hurts, I think they're going to be able to run the football when they need to in crucial times and make enough plays in the passing game, explosive wise, with their great receivers. And I think it's going to be a great ball game. But I feel like Philly's going to come out of here with this one. That's just how I'm feeling.
All right, and speaking of Phillies, that front seven on the defensive side, what's going to be important for them when it comes down to defending against Patrick Mahomes and keeping him from being able to create that Mahomes magic that he's known to have been able to do, especially in big moments.
Well, I feel like he's going to have to kind of like have the same game plan the Texans had because we were able to bottle him up. The only time he was able to get out of these when he was getting calls from the officials, to be quite honest with you. And also, you got to stop him from getting out of the pocket, making plays, scrambling, making plays outside the pocket. That's when he really kills you, either with his legs or getting outside the pocket if they're creating something downfield. So if you can keep him contained inside of the pocket, which not many people can do, then you'll have a chance.
All right. I'm not sure that you are a betting man, but I'm putting $500 in your hands. You got a chance to go to the book and put it on either team. Who do you like? Who are you putting that 500 on?
I'll put my 500 on Philly. Put my 500 on Philly. I think, like I said, I think Philly. I think Saquon's going to make enough explosive plays. I don't think they're going to be able to just shut Saquon out. I think he's going to get loose, whether he's catching the ball or whether he gets loose in the run game. I think he's going to show up big in a major way.
All right, man. A fun one from me for you. What's the go-to food, man? What's the must-have at a Super Bowl party that Jonathan Wells pulls up on?
In New Orleans, in New Orleans.
Yeah.
We gonna get some good crawfish etouffee. You gotta have that. Gotta have some crawfish etouffee. Gotta have some crawfish. I'm not a oyster guy, but if you into that, you gotta go get you some good oysters. Gotta get some gumbo. For me, it's not really about the restaurants in New Orleans. You gotta try like family members' food, like my mom and my cousins. That's where you are gonna get that real New Orleans from. To be honest with you.
All right. Well, hey, if I pull up an NO, man, I'm tagging with you for a whole weekend, man. Just take me around.
Let's do it. It's nothing.
All right, man. Well, that's all we got, man. Obviously, big game weekend, man, and good luck to both teams. Obviously, history on the line for KC and for Saquon as well, as far as his opportunity to cap off a revenge season, so to speak, potentially with a championship.
Yeah, absolutely. Gonna be a great one. I think it's gonna be a barn burner. And like I said, I was supposed to make it down there, man, but I ended up not going. So I'm gonna watch this one from the crib. But I'm looking forward to it.
Good deal, man.